Okay, welcome back to Jay's Retro Toys and Games, where we're ready to go with another look at a fantastic NES accessory. And this one, well, first off, we have the home for deep dives into the quirkiest corners of gaming history, and a special shout out goes to Susan Fit47, a true retro gaming champion whose passion for classic consoles keeps the nostalgia alive. Today's feature explores one of the strangest, most ambitious, and most misunderstood accessories ever made for the NES, the Rock, or the Roll-and Rocker. Now, this curious device promised to revolutionize gameplay by letting players control their favorite NES titles with body movement instead of a controller. It was bold, it was bizarre, and it was destined to fail. But its story is one worth telling. And we're going to tell that story right after we play our song. This is episode number 114 on this Thursday, April 16th, 2026. My goodness, let's hit it right now. Welcome to episode number 114 of Jay's Retro Toys and Games. I'm your host, Jason Icanio. Once again, it's time to look at the NES Accessories expansion list to thank our wonderful subscriber, Susan Fit47. She is giving us the extended list that we didn't even know existed. For some reason or another, we were only going to touch the surface. Well, she scratched beyond the surface and gave us this whole list, and we're going to follow that list and keep on giving you some of these great episodes. And this is Thursday, April 16th, 2026, middle of the month. Hopefully you paid your taxes on the 15th, because tax day now, you have to file an extension if you're going to want to not be penalized by the IRS. But that's for another story. The Roll and Rocker. Well, by the late 1980s, the NES had become a cultural phenomenon. Nintendo's gray box wasn't just a console, it was a gateway to imagination. With millions of units sold and a massive library of games, the NES inspired a wave of third-party innovation. Companies scrambled to create accessories that could enhance, expand, or completely reinvent the gaming experience. From turbo controllers to light guns, the market was flooded with gadgets promising to make players faster, stronger, and more immersed. But LJN, a toy company known for its colorful branding and movie-licensed games, saw an opportunity to stand out. The company had already made a name for itself, not always for the right reasons, and wanted to create something that would capture the excitement of physical play. The result was the Roll and Rocker, a device that aimed to merge video gaming with motion control long before the technology was ready. The Roll and Rocker was designed to replace the NES controller's directional pad with body movement. The player stood on a large, circular plastic platform that tilted in all directions. By leaning forward, backward, or side to side, the player could send signals to the NES, simulating the up, down, left, and right inputs of a standard controller. The A and B buttons, start and select, were still handled by a regular NES controller, which plugged into the Roll and Rocker itself. The concept was simple but ambitious, and it promised a new level of interactivity, a way to become the character on screen. Marketing materials claimed it would make games more exciting and physically engaging, but in an era when most gaming was sedentary, the idea of standing up and moving to play was revolutionary. Unfortunately, the execution did not match the vision. The Roll and Rocker's design was both its selling point and its downfall. The board's internal mechanism relied on a basic tilt sensor system that closed electrical circuits when the players shifted their weight. This crude technology lacked precision, often resulting in delayed or inaccurate responses. The slightest imbalance could cause unintended movements, making gameplay unpredictable. Moreover, the board's physical design posed safety concerns. It was lightweight, slippery, and prone to tipping. Players often found themselves wobbling or falling off while trying to maintain balance and press buttons simultaneously, and the combination of awkward posture and unreliable controls made the roll and rocker more of a novelty than a practical accessory. LJN marketed the roll and rocker as a futuristic leap forward in gaming. Commercials and print ads featured energetic kids leaning and rocking their way through NES classics, smiling as if they were surfing through digital worlds. The packaging emphasized total control and hands-free action, appealing to parents who wanted their kids to be more active while gaming. However, the marketing couldn't hide the product's flaws. Early adopters quickly discovered that the roll and rocker didn't deliver the smooth, responsive experience shown in advertisements. Word spread fast through gaming magazines and playground chatter. The accessory was more frustrating than fun. When the roll and rocker hit store shelves in 1989, it was met with curiosity, but quickly earned a reputation as one of the worst NES accessories ever made. Reviewers criticized its poor responsiveness, awkward design, and lack of compatibility with most games. Some even warned that it could be dangerous for younger players. And despite its failure, the roll and rocker became a talking point in the gaming community. It joined the ranks of the infamous peripherals like the Power Glove and the U-Force, devices that promised innovation but delivered disappointment. And yet these failures also reflected the experimental spirit of the time. Companies were willing to take risks, and even their missteps contributed to the evolution of gaming technology. But after its brief stint on the market, the roll and rocker faded into obscurity. Unsold units were discontinued or discounted or discarded, and few players kept theirs. And for years it was a little more than a footnote in NES history, remembered only by collectors and those who had experienced its awkward gameplay firsthand. However, as retro gaming culture grew in the 2000s and 2010s, interest in obscure accessories resurfaced. Collectors began hunting for rare and unusual peripherals, and the roll and rocker found new life as a curiosity, a relic of an era when creativity often outpaced technology. Today, the roll and rocker is a prized oddity among NES collectors. Its rarity, combined with its reputation as one of the strangest gaming devices ever made, makes it a conversation piece. Complete sets with original packaging can fetch high prices, especially among enthusiasts who specialize in collecting failed or experimental gaming hardware. Collectors appreciate the roll and rocker not for its functionality, but for what it represents. A time when the gaming industry was still young, daring, and unafraid to experiment. It's a reminder that innovation often involves failure, and that even the most misguided ideas can pave the way for future success. And while the roller rocker, failed commercially, its core idea, controlling games through physical movement, would eventually succeed. Decades later, Nintendo revisited the concept with the Wii, a console that revolutionized gaming through intuitive motion controls. The Wii Remote achieved what the roll and rocker could not: accurate, responsive, and enjoyable motion-based gameplay. In hindsight, the roll and rocker can be seen as a primitive ancestor of modern motion gaming, and it was a product of its time, limited by the technology available, but visionary in its ambition. Without early experiments like it, the path to motion control might have taken longer to develop. But in the modern era, the and I don't want to say the rock and roller, it should be the roll, it's actually the roll and rocker, has become a symbol of retro gaming's experimental side. It's often featured in YouTube retrospectives, gaming documentaries, and nostalgic reviews that celebrate the weird and wonderful world of 1980s gaming. Its legacy lives on not through its success, but through its infamy. A reminder that even failed ideas can leave a lasting impression. For many retro fans, the roll and rocker represents the charm of the NES era, at a time when creativity was boundless and every new accessory promised to change the way games were played. It's a piece of history that continues to fascinate collectors, historians, and gamers alike. The NES Roll and Rocker stands as one of the most memorable missteps in gaming history, a bold idea that stumbled in execution but succeeded in spirit, and it embodies the fearless experimentation of the 8-bit era when companies dared to dream big, even if the results weren't perfect. Thanks for tuning in to Jay's Retro Toys and Games, where every forgotten gadget tells a story worth remembering. And once again, a big shout out to Susan Fit 47 for keeping the retro flame burning bright. The Roll and Rocker may not have rocked the world, but it sure rolled its way into gaming legend. We'll see you the next time with a look at more NES accessories with our great subscriber, Susan Fit 47. She gave us a big list. The next one up on the list, you'll just have to tune in on Saturday to find out what it's going to be. But it will be episode number 115 as Season 4 continues its going strong ways. And we also thank you to our 655th subscriber, to Jay's Retro Toys and Games, and of course to Jay's All TV channel. We're only about 45 away from 700 and about 345 away from 1,000. With your help and your subscribing, we can get there. Thanks again for joining us tonight. Have a great weekend. We will see you on Saturday. Till then, bye for now.